In the headlines, returning Dominican University graduates to receive 40% cut in student loan balances from January 2019. Dominican schools continue to benefit from the generosity of Hands Across the Sea, and we bring you part 2 of our coverage of Community Day of Service activities across the island. Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm Shakira Peer. Stay tuned for details of the headline stories and more coming up. Welcome back. Dominican University graduates who have returned home to serve their homeland will be rewarded by a significant reduction in their student loans owed to the financial institutions. This was confirmed by the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, as he addressed thousands of nationals at the Independence Day Parade of Uniformed Groups on November 3rd.
I have therefore again advised the relevant authorities in government to effect a system whereby, come January 2019, the outstanding balance on the accounts of all graduates who have returned to Dominica and who are either working or in the process of seeking out employment shall be slashed in commemoration of this particular anniversary of independence. Shall be slashed by 40%. Whatever they owe Aid Bank and other institutions for the student loan, the government shall absorb 40% of the remaining balance as a means of saying, congratulations on your achievements, thanks for returning home, and we are grateful for what you're doing to help build a climate-resilient Dominica.
Meantime, the Honorable Prime Minister has expressed thanks to the government of Cuba for its demonstrated commitment to the island's human resource development through its annual scholarship program. The government of Cuba has provided scholarship to hundreds of Dominican students spanning several decades.
The Republic of Cuba came to our aid at the dawn of our political independence 40 years ago, and has never flinched in its commitment to providing full educational scholarships for Dominicans in various disciplines. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Today, I ask His Excellency Juan Carlos Frumenta de la Rosa to convey our heartfelt thanks and appreciation to his government on its continued demonstration of solidarity, friendship, and commitment to the people of Dominica through retention of the Cuban Scholarship Program for all these 40 years thus far.
Hands Across the Sea continues to demonstrate its commitment to the island's education system. Hands Across the Sea is a non-profit organization dedicated to raising the literacy levels of children in the Eastern Caribbean. On Wednesday, the organization again presented brand new books to the Ministry of Education to be distributed to schools across the island.
And we need to, as an education system, as schools, ensure that when we distribute reading material, literacy material to students, we allow them to promote those attributes that are critical to harnessing the social cohesiveness among students and among society in general. So Hands Across the Sea has been contributing significantly to that. We were advised that the shipment included some 2,500 books, several boxes of books, and they're distributed to, I think, 24 schools, including 3 secondary schools.
Giselle Laura is the local representative for Hands Across the Sea. She presented copies of teachers' resource guides to principal and teachers, as well as explained the origin of the organization.
The Hands Across the Sea is a charity started in 2007 by Harriet Linsky and her husband Tom. Harriet is a former school teacher and they're also avid sailors, and they were sailing through the Caribbean, and they visited a school and they realized that there's a woeful lack of reading material for students. So they made it their mission to raise the literacy levels in especially the Eastern Caribbean, 6 islands to be exact, by sourcing brand new, up-to-date books. So they don't believe in donation dumps, which is basically out-of-date books. They work with publishers like Scholastic and DK Publishing and Macmillan Caribbean to source brand new books for the students to read, so that they are more excited in to pick up a book and to follow.
The Dominican Netball Association has received equipment valued at $5,080 from the Permanent Mission of the Republic of Indonesia, and thanks to the efforts of Dominica's ambassador to the United Nations and special envoy for the Dominican Netball Association, Her Excellency Lorraine Banis Roberts. The presentation took place on Tuesday and was received by executive members of the association. This is the second time the DNA has received assistance from the Permanent Mission of the Republic of Indonesia. Since earlier this year, the mission donated gears and equipment to assist the association to train young persons involved in the sport. Former president of the Dominican Netball Association and a former national player, Her Excellency Lorraine Banis Roberts, says she is pleased she could work collaboratively with the Permanent Mission of the Republic of Indonesia to make this donation possible.
I'm very pleased that Mrs. Regina Walsh and her executive in 2017 appointed me as the special envoy for netball in Dominica, and to give a voice to netball out there in the outside world. Earlier on this year, the Permanent Mission of the Republic of Indonesia donated a number of training equipment and uniforms to the association. This was presented, and today the Permanent Mission of the Republic of Indonesia, again, they are coming through for the Dominican Netball Association. I made representation to them on behalf of the Dominican Netball Association, and today they have donated a computer, a projector screen, and a printer to the Dominica Netball Association. And
she says she will continue to work to assist the Dominica Netball Association.
I'm confident that they will be taking very good care of this equipment, and as I say, this phase is over, but once I return, there are other things that we need to source, and I will pursue these vigorously.
Executive member of the Dominican Netball Association, Regina Walsh, thanked Her Excellency Roberts for the donation, which she says will go a long way for the association.
The Dominican Netball Association is very pleased today to receive these items from our own ambassador, Lorraine Banis Roberts. Lorraine has had the passion for netball ever since she started playing netball, especially for Dominica, and now being the ambassador at the UN. Last year, we named Lorraine as our special envoy for netball, and we have seen the benefits of she being the ambassador and the special envoy. Earlier, Lorraine brought us gifts from her counterpart, and this time around, again, Lorraine is here with us to welcome us and to give us these gifts. We, as an association, will accept these gifts, and we will also use it for the betterment of netball on the island.
Meantime, the first Castlebar Scout troop received musical instruments from the former parliamentary representative and Dominica's ambassador to the United Nations, Her Excellency Lorraine Banis Roberts. This donation is a joint effort between the former parliamentary representative and a company based in Boston and Bulgaria.
Today it's a great day for me as the former parliamentary representative and as Dominica's ambassador to the UN to present to the first Castlebar Scout Troop some musical instruments for the Scout Troop band. I was approached a couple months ago by Mr. Kenrick Lequent, who is the Scout leader for the Castlebar Scout Troop, and he said to me that they would require some instruments. I told him I would try, and today it has been a pleasure to present to the first Castlebar Scout Troop musical instruments donated by Stone and Compass company. This is a company based in Boston and Bulgaria. And on my own behalf, a pleasure to present to the Scout Troop berets that they really need to enhance their appearance.
Representative of the 1st Castlebrose Scout Troop expressed gratitude on behalf of the group.
On behalf of Mr. Kenrick Liquent, who is the Scout leader of the 1st Castlebrose Scout Troop, the Parents' Council, all the members of the 1st Castlebrose Scout Troop, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Her Excellency Honorable Lauren Bannis Roberts, who is our former parliamentary representative, but who is always willing to work with us, help us in any way that she can. And these instruments, we are totally sure that they will go into good use. We'll be able to occupy our young ones, keep them interested, keep them up to date with the latest music, and as well as just keeping them together with the Scout movement, and as well as showcasing what Castlebrose has to offer.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. We continue where we left off from our reports on National Day of Community Service, which was observed island-wide on Monday, November 5th. Community Day of Service on the east of Dominica began on an overcast morning in Boetica with the creation of an access road to the home of a former firefighter. Village Council Chairman Mr. Jones Senville told GIS News that Mr. Morris Ali, now disabled, has served Dominica and his community well.
Today, our council decided to undertake this project leading to Mr. Morris Ali's residence. Actually, Mr. Morris Ali is an ex-fireman. He have done a lot for the country and have done a lot for Boetica on a whole. And we are looking to facilitate him in case, because actually he cannot work. And if at all sickness prevail, that we can get the ambulance to go to his house for easy access.
GIS traveled on to Delis, where we met with Parliamentary Representative Honorable Peter Seja, who gave details of the community's planned projects, including cleaning up and beautification in La Ronde, road restoration in La Roche, and another drainage project in Casgori.
There are a number of other projects. One that stands out, though, is the project in the Casgori area, where the community has mobilized themselves. They provided all of the materials except the cement, and they are restoring the culvert crossing from the main road into Casgori. In addition to that, we have a number of other areas in La Ronde, for example, where they're doing cleanup and beautification, and Asha La Ronde, a councillor, has organized a group there with their trucks, and they're clearing the area. Also, in the upper the Balize area of La Plaine, there is a small group doing some cleanup and beautification. So we have tremendous mobilization.
GIS ran into a group of young people in Freyal on the outskirts of Rivière Syriac who were eager to display their pride in community by pooling their strengths in the cleanup project to the entrance of their hillside village. The Castlebrose constituency was next, and GIS made sure to catch up with Parliamentary Representative Honorable Johnson Drago, who was eager to share details of the developments in his constituency, including the final cleanup of the Castlebrose Primary School.
The council, they've been trying to tackle this project for a while, and this time government made an effort to ensure that they got all the material they needed. And I'm very happy that I'm seeing that we will complete both footing of this crossing today, because the guys who were there, they've really pushed a lot of work today. So both footing will be properly completed, and then in the coming weeks we will do the platform for this very important crossing. Additionally, at the primary school, there is a major final cleaning going on. As you know, that the Castlebrose Primary was rebuilt almost in its entirety, and the primary school students are presently at the Castlebrose Secondary. So we're preparing to move the students up as soon as possible, and the parents are there doing a final cleanup, which I'm very excited about, because they will be moving into a rather new school very soon.
And finally, Parliamentary Representative of the Salibert constituency, Honorable Cassius Darrow, joined forces with the Siniku Youth Group to help recover the bus shelters, which had been severely impacted by Hurricane Maria in September 2017.
The Siniku Youth Group decided to take on the bus stop project, which was severely impacted by Hurricane Maria. So we have just completed the Siniku covering the Sineku bus stop area leading to the Lescali-Teche. Further down in the community, we are also doing some more bus stop covering because we realize when it is raining that our students who are going to school who usually utilize these bus stops, they are having some difficulties. So we took a decision to cover all the bus stops in the Kalinago community and Atkinson and Trizell.
Our first stop on the Western District was in the community of Dubla, where we met a group of men hard at work on the rehabilitation of one of the community's roads. We caught up with Councillor Leandra Bell Charles, who explained that the project was initially hampered by inclement weather conditions.
Unfortunately, the rain caused a little delay. We had a lot of rain this morning, so we haven't been able to do much. So what we have decided to do this morning is to prepare the road, do all the form work. So hopefully by the grace of God on Saturday, God's willing, once weather is well, we will do the paving of the cement, because we do not want to go and mix the cement and then it starts to rain again and then we cannot complete the work. So the gentlemen there, they're just preparing it, they're digging it, doing their form work afterwards, and hopefully on Saturday we'll complete the project. The community of Dubla is really united in that Kudme concept. That is something that has never gone far away from us, and it's something we'll continue to maintain.
In the neighboring fishing community of Biosh, residents turned out in large numbers to play their part in the community project.
This is an area after Maria was compromised, and because had little difficulty, it could sink anytime. So it was a hazard, and they saw this as a very important project.
A few feet away, the youth of the community were actively involved in the cleanup of the beachfront.
You know, Biosh is a fishing community, and you need cleanliness, and that is where the cleanliness part of the project comes in. And I'm really proud of the Biosh people. I have to say hats up to them, their community spirit, their involvement, their love for country, their love for the government. Thank you so much. You know, children are my passion. Having been a teacher, you know, I love children. And, you know, so many times we bring down our young children, we say they involve in negative behaviors, negative actions. And to see these very young children being part of the process, smiles on their faces. It's not that they have been forced to do it. So Dominica has hope. Dominica has hope because we are building Dominica. This is the future of Dominica. And if we can build a safe place, make them take ownership of their community, their country, then we are on our way to success.
In Collio, Councillor Arthur Knight and a few residents of the community were completing preparatory work for the construction of a storm drain.
Being media, we are doing a very important drain. It's like a storm drain. It carries a lot of water, and every time we have hurricane and the sea is rough, you know, the sea back up and the water kind of come in and it flood in the place. So we are trying to see how best we can fix that thing, because it's really a problem for the people living on the beachside. And transport, as you see, that's the beach, and people always come in there and bathe in the sea, and sometimes their transport get tangled in this, so we're trying to fix it as best as we can.
GIS News also caught up with Parliamentary Representative for the Salisbury constituency, Honorable Hector John, and a team of residents engaged in road paving project in the Dolphin Cove area.
What we are trying to do is to pave that road to go in there. It will make it easier for not only walking safety for people living in there. You have about 10 to 15 families living in there. So we want to ensure that they're safe. What we're looking at as well, to work with DOMLEC to ensure that we have street lights as well. But what we're doing today on Community of Service is paving that road.
In Ochabando area in St. Joseph, we met the Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Kelvedaro, and several residents constructing a concrete footpath.
This is one of the roads in St. Joseph that is still in a mud road, and whenever it rains, the residents in this area have difficulty in walking that road. So together with the council and of course myself as a member of parliament and the villagers, we decided to undertake this project as one of the primary projects for the community of service. So far I'm very pleased with the turnout. We have over 25 young people and also some of the tradesmen in the community engaged in this project. And what is also very interesting, some of the returning residents from St. Joseph they also participated in this project. So it shows really the camaraderie of the community.
We stopped briefly in the community of GMH, where we met a hard-working group of residents completing a major cleanup of the roadside and during clearing. Our final stop was in the community of Maho, where we witnessed the construction of a sidewalk amidst intermittent showers.
4 contractors from the Maho constituency, really residents in Maho itself, came together to start a project in the Belfast area, starting first with the installation of sidewalks. And the intention there is to beautify the area and to come in with some nice benches and nice flowers, and to continue doing the reclaiming of land and to build some stalls so you can bring some economic life in that part of the village. And I think it's absolutely important that we enhance the physical appearance of Maho, because Maho is a centralized location and you must traverse into Maho if you're coming from the northern part of the country, the west coast area into Roseau. So the whole issue of beautifying and keeping the area clean is actually very important.
GIS News also visited the northeastern part of the island. We were first greeted by scenes of an extensive beautification project in Marigot.
My name is Nell, and what I'm doing, I'm enhancing the area, planting hedges, palm plants, and on this other side is where my business place is. So I'm just basically enhancing the area. When tourists pass by or whoever pass by, they can enjoy the scenery, have a relaxing seat and everything.
At our next stop in Wesley, we caught up with the Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Wesley constituency, Ezekiel Basil, on a road pavement project.
The Village Council, together with the rest of the villagers, have decided that they're going to actually repair this portion of road. This road can take you from one of the end of the village and right through onto the beach. If you sit down this way, we can go onto the beach and turn in and get into the hidden area.
Still in Wesley, we also met a few men using some tires to do some minor repairs to the roadway. Other young persons were also actively engaged in brush cutting and clearing of the roadside. Lenny Thomas is the Environmental Health Officer for the area.
This is the main road, Wesley. We're on the forward area, and we are the guys who just doing a little cleanup of the area.
In Woodford Hill, residents were actively involved in the transformation of the downstairs of the council's office into a hurricane shelter.
This is the Woodford Hill Village Council. I'm Bernadette Lawrence, the Deputy Chairperson of the council, and we are here now trying to fix up a downstairs so that we can use it as a temporary shelter, just in case of any disaster. We are here. As you see, the young men, we have 2 councillors here, we have the clerk and other helpers here with us, trying to do something here with us this afternoon. Villagers are here with us helping, and we are happy with the turnout. Our bigger job will be on later. As you see, they are cleaning up, making the drains. So that's where we are at the moment now.
Chairman of the Woodford Hill Village Council, Wills Honoré, also spoke with GIS News about this drainage and retaining wall projects.
For this Community Day of Service, we got approval to continue the project. So right now we see the guys are there. We are setting up the footing to start casting, and we pray God that the weather hold, because it has been a very wet morning this morning. But we're hoping to do our best, because we plan to stay all day long, and whatever is not completed, we plan to come back probably a week following this day, you know, to do what we have to do. It's not only the wall and the storm drain we are going to concentrate on, but then we have to further leave the top of this road for casting.
In Calibishi, we met this group of residents knee-deep in water undertaking a cleanup of this river.
Okay, right now, presently we are at the Livia Sale, English word Salty River. This is a normal river that really flows through the center of the community, and in times before, it always used to be well kept. The river banks used to be properly cleaned, but since after Hurricane Maria, we seem to have a problem getting this place cleaned up. We thought that job would be more menial than what we expected today, so we're just trying our best to try to clean it so that the water we can get better flow with the river.
Honorable Rosalind Paul is parliamentary representative for the Paybush constituency.
Creates a health hazard as it blocks But they've done as much as they can in terms of manual, but we realize that we need to do further work in use of a machine. But the turnout, especially the women and men who are here, it's been very good.
Residents also cleaned up an abandoned lot in the community.
This place, as you see it right now, is not what it was an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. It was very deplorable with all this garbage packed out there in the bags. People would just buy the drinks from the other side and would just come and dump it here. It's a private property, but it's kind of neglected, so people just chose to throw the garbage here. It was a very sore state, and then we decided as a council that this is one of our first projects for Community Day of Service. So we had this group of women and other well-wishers from the committee who came this morning, and we had this place cleaned up.
We also caught on camera some brush cutting and drainage project. Similar to other years, efforts were being made to prepare meals for those engaged on the project.
Like Miss Paul said, we started late, and we're going to be doing some cooking, you know. So we have some chicken, we have some pig slough, we have some dumpling, you can see.
So one pot, everything going in?
Everything in one. That's what we're going to be doing here now.
GIS News applauds all those who participated in this year's National Day of Community Service. That's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure follow us on facebook.com/GIS News Dominica and follow us on Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Shakira Peer. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.